Hey guys, welcome back to this recap for Wednesday. And let's take a look at price action and kind of see what's going on today. Really, we didn't have a strong setup, and I'll kind of show you why. And then I'm going to kind of work through this as if you were watching the price action through the charts, and then really what kind of decisions that you would have made, why you would have got in or not got in, that kind of stuff. And we'll kind of just walk through it on a day through the eyes of like the trader idea. Let me go ahead and we'll jump on over to the charts here, and we'll be on the 15-minute. We always go to the 15-minute. Now, let me go ahead and clean some of this up. So I'll remove just we'll have the lines only. I'll even take away all the other stuff. And so now we're just looking at these solid lines here. Up here is the yellow line. So that's the point of control for the weekly right now. Then you have the volume area low for that last week candle that we just came through. It's kind of playing forward based on where things are at. You can see we kind of tested that throughout the today, and then we traded on down. So to get these lines, we do have them on our site. I'll jump over there real quick. That's right here. If you're once you're in the site, this is the membership side. If you click on Market Radar, you can get all the information here, and you can see as of right now, it's not giving you a trade opportunity because there isn't one on the current price based on the system. And it's really telling you right here, if it's not, each asset is going to be looked at a little bit different. Each token is a little different. So BTC, right now we're looking at typically if it's less than 0.5 I'll show you that here in a minute what that means. But if it's less than 0.5, it's just not really worth it to get into. So it's just probably going to be a choppy day, or maybe news is going to move the price, or it may move, but it's not have any strength for you to justify being in it. So if you click this copy button here, and then go back to the charts here, this is where you can see the lines. That's this indicator right here. And then you can go ahead and click on settings and paste it right in here on the levels. And I'll go ahead and copy everything that's in here and delete it out so you can see that it's gone. You can see the lines disappeared. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste in that code. And now you can see the lines are back. So the lines here, the dotted lines are the 30-minute high and low. That purple solid line is your breakout trigger, and the green lines your the purple lines are breakdown a trigger, and the green line is your breakout trigger. So long, short, and then the dash purple, or I don't know, I guess I'm lost today. Dash blue is your daily support, and the dash red is your daily resistance. So what you're looking for, if I grab my measuring tool over here and I click on the trigger and go to the daily resistance here, because if we're going to break out, we want to go long, it's over that 0.5. So that's what I'm looking for, is that 0.5 or better. So if we get a breakout trade, we could look at taking it and run it up to that area above. Now, if I go back over and I measure the purple breakdown trigger down to the daily support, we need to see it over 0.5. And you can see it's right around 0.22, and it's a no-go, right? So that's how you measure these gaps. Now, so we're not really looking for a downside trade because it's already telling us there's not a lot of room. Typically, you won't really see a move. Now you probably could call it out going, yeah, I do. It's right here. I saw it fall out. So here on this candle here at 12:15, the price action dropped and traded on down. Now, like I said, I'm going to spend some time going through this and walking through why you wouldn't have got in here for the breakout and run up here. And really, I just showed you why we wouldn't have got into this, but I'm going to show you how you could have entered this if you decided to. I would have said be very cautious when you enter here, is because it's less than 0.5. We've actually ran data for our last 2 years. And typically when you see a small gap less than 0.5, a lot of times it'll come down, ricochet right back up. Now I will call out today was a news day, so if you're watching the news, It had some energy in the space for the news, and that's probably why you saw the move, because that's about when it was released, right around the 1 o'clock time, and this is happening at 12:30. So that's the breakout. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we want to do today as we're setting up the day, getting those levels, because everything that we looked at, I just showed you on the Cabroto.com site. That was coming from early in the morning, right at the 8 o'clock candle, 8 Central Standard Time. So that's candle right here. It goes and gives us all the data. So we already know what's going to happen today and what we're going to watch for. So really, we're waiting. If we want to take a trade, we need to take it to the upside, because that's the only place we actually have some energy. And of course, we're looking for it to go here. We do know that the weekly bias is still bearish. So with that being bearish, you want to be very careful if you're going to take a long, because it's going to pull it back. It probably would have ran up and reject here pretty quick and started to come back down. So you want to take your profits fast. So let's go and take a look at this, though. If you're going to get in it, you get into this candle right here. So that's 9:30 Central Standard Time. The candle next to it opened up at 9:45. So I'm going to go into the 5-minute, because that's where we're going to want to take our entry. And what we are waiting for is that 15-minute candle close. So the 9:45 candle is right here. So that big long candle we saw in the 15 is these 3 candles right here. It started at 9:30 to 9:35 and then 9:40. This candle closed out and activated the next 15-minute candle. It started at 9:45. So we know that the 15-minute, even though the 5-minute got above and closed, this is the actual 15-minute close for us to be able to say, hey, let's get in. So this is the first candle that we could have jumped in. So I'm going to jump back out to the 15-minute, and I'm going to go back to where we were at. I just bounced it forward on us. Or backwards, sorry, on this. This is the run up. This is that candle that you saw the high wick in on the 5-minute, and that's this candle right here. So if we wanted to just go long, you would just buy on the next candle open. So that would have been right here, and you would have put your stop. Technically, on these shorter trades, you would have put the stop right on the low of the 15-minute candle. So that would have been this candle right here. There's your low. That's your stop, and you would have got in right here. So obviously you don't want to do that, because we want to analyze the entry, and now that's why we're in the 5-minute. So looking at the 5-minute, this is where we're going to look at taking an entry. We'll see this dotted line here. We use the 8-minute EMA on a BTC chart for an entry. We want to see this line up against, we would really want to see it right up against here. So if this line was trading all the way up into here like this, and we got this close, we want more than likely would have seen it bounce here and start to climb back out. But you can see this line is way down here, not way up here. It's way down here. So price action naturally is going to want to come back down to this, and you can see how it wicked here and then tried to get back above. So for us to be able to really take the entry, we don't want to put a limit order on, but we could wait to see if we can get a true close back above and see these price action kind of trade along this area. So if I was going to get into this, I'd want to see price action kind of trade up on long here after it got underneath, maybe get back above and bounce on top. And in the meantime, I want to see this 8 exponential moving average to push back up into price and hold strength here, because now we have the trigger above it. We got the confirmation on the 15-minute, and it's starting to hold above our moving average. Is starting to show some strength for this to move up. This is why you wait, is because you can see right here, this came on up, price action came back through. Once it got underneath that trigger, it tried to get above it again and then fell out, right? And shot on down, and that's where you would get frustrated as a trader. That's why you're waiting. So ultimately, you're kind of waiting for these candles to show strength and get back up here, and then once these candles started to come down here, you already knew that was over with. You're not going to enter that trade. Even though you got your 15-minute candle close above, it never gave you an entry on the 5-minute. So now we're going to go ahead and move back out to the 15-minute, and let's go ahead and go forward here on the price action, and let's look at the 15-minute as it trades down. Now, like I said, the gap is too tight, so we're not going to really be looking for a short trade, but there is one here, and I want to point out how you could have entered in the difference between the long that we were just looking at and how you could have looked at the short. Now, if this was a 0.5 gap, we would definitely want to take advantage of this. So we need to get the 15-minute candle close to have a full candle and close below the trigger. So the trigger is right here on this purple line. So these candles were not letting us get in. Now we could start to get into these a little bit here, that they barely were closing above below, but what we wanted to see is this candle. This is the candle that we wanted to see for the breakdown. So that is 12.15, and then this next candle that we could have got into is 12.30. So we had to get this candle to close, which it did, and then we would have got in right here. So let me go ahead and put this on here so we can see this is the candle we were looking for. And then again, we're looking for that 15-minute candle, which is this one. There's the highest point from when this candle closed. So we'd be looking at putting our stop right above that. You'd notice that I didn't put it right on, I put a little bit above it. So give yourself a little bit of room because this could try to come back up in here. Now, we can't take this actual trade. You could. I mean, the way we tested the system, you could just enter on this next 15-minute candle and take the trade. But you really want to be smart and to go back to that 5 minutes so you don't get hooked in this one, right? And have it run down on you. So let's go ahead and go into the 5-minute. You can see we are looking for the 8:15 candle, right? So there's the 15, there's the 20, 25. So that's the whole 15 minutes is closed. Here is the open of the 8:30. Now you can see a lot clearer the line back here. It was way further away from price action, a lot bigger gap. Even if I measured it, back here when this gap, that's 0.65% already away from that line. Right here is when our candle closed right here, and we were looking at taking this trade, you're 0.1. I mean, you're basically sitting on it. So yeah, at that point, you're also sitting on your volume area low for the week. Like I said, the only reason why I would get away from this is because statistically, these don't play out on average because the gap is so tight. That's just on our rules. That's using our system. That's why I'm talking about it here to show you that. Now, if you weren't and you were just saying, hey, I'm just going to get into this, this is the pattern you're looking for. This is it right here. So you could get in on any of these trades. You could have said, hey, I'm going to wait for the back test in this area, whatever you decide. Now, this is the setup that you'd be looking for. And then you're like, okay, well, when do I get out? Where is the area that we can trade? I'm going to go ahead and click on the trigger on the top, the breakout trigger, and I'm going to go to the breakdown trigger here on the bottom. And then I'm just going to go down and line it up with the breakdown trigger and have it go on out. From there, I'm going to go ahead and mark the bottom. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and look at taking my trade off because this is a pretty solid target. Right here. So if I was going to do that, this is where I would have traded it. If this is a setup, it would have been a 2.2 to 1 RR, risk to reward. So that's how you want to look at this, and that's why I'm spending a little bit of detail with you. I know this is kind of tedious, but I want to show you how to take the entry, why we're waiting for the 15-minute candle close, how do we go in the live price action, and you could have made this decision today during this, before all the rest of this played. You would have got in right before this snapped. This is the two candles that you could have got in on, so you could have got in basically right here or right here. So it just depends. I mean, if you got in right on this candle here, or you waited for it to bounce back, it's just kind of up to you. But you're really close to this pressure coming down. High probability of it dropping. So it just depends on where you're at and where you entered on getting. You can see the difference. If I got in down here, it's a 1.6. If I got in right on the back test here, back up into that daily support, you would have been a 2.2. So it's kind of up to you. Obviously, you did never touch your loss. Very strong target area. You can also see how it hit the target area, whipped past a little bit, but they came right back up, and then it just kind of has been trading pretty flat right on this whole line. If I draw this line out the rest of the way to current price, really hasn't done anything different. So you would have been in and out. That's 5, 10, 15. Basically, in 15 minutes, you would have had the trade done because this candle right here wicked you out before it started to play up and then come down. So again, though, our system wouldn't let you in, so you wouldn't have taken this trade, but that's how you would have entered. for that opportunity. And the reason why I say our system wouldn't let you enter is because of right here, it's less than 0.5. It would have not have given you the trade, and you couldn't go, it doesn't give you anything when you go into the trade layout. So if I look at Solana here, it gave a trade as well. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit more time with you if you want. I'm going to go ahead and show you the Solana setup and actually go into the lock target here and show you what it looks like. So because it actually is set up for a trade, it hits the parameters for Solana. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the lines for us. I'm going to go back to price action, and then I'm going to go into my Solana chart, and then I am going to right click to keep consistency. I'm going to click on the indicator, and then I'm going to delete all that out and then paste in the new lines. Put that in for us. Now, this is the trade that it's giving us, and why it's calling it a breakout trade is because the daily support is way above the daily breakdown, or the breakout trigger, and the breakdown trigger, if we measure the distance here, it's right around that 1.96 or 95 is what I think it was saying. So this is the trade that we're looking for. Now, once I go into it, you can see it lays it all out. How much you're ever going to put in here is what you're willing to put on the account. If you copy the key, the trade key, and then use, we have another indicator. If you right click on that, go into your settings again, you can put in the trade. And once you'll see these lines move, you saw them just shift. This is the trade, and that you can look at getting into. Now this does show that it wants to run, right? And on these type of moves, a lot of times you want to start taking percentages off when it hits targets. The other thing is you can do is analyze the targets and mark it out. We always know when you're trading coins other than BTC, if BTC plays vol, then typically it lets you play vol across the board as well. So here is the breakdown. You can see that it just missed your target there. Very frustrating, but the 5 minute did get your cross right here. So that would have been definitely an exit for you. As this crossed through here, you might have took off 50%. There's different things that you could do to make sure that you're okay. But let's go ahead and let me quickly, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time going into the 15 minute real quick on this chart, and we'll take a look at it. So this is your candle right here for the open. You can see it did this. It looks almost like the BTC chart is wicking up. This is when you had the 15-minute candle close below the price action right here. After you got everything all set up, it did close back here as well, but it's still in the early morning. I like to see the New York session opened up and give us all that. So we got the run up, we've got the run down. This is our close below. So now we're going to look at taking price action. So let's go into this chart right here at 10 o'clock, and then this is 10:15. So go into the 5 minute, and I mark this out. Here is your 10 o'clock. There's your 10:05, 10:10, and then here is your next candle open right here. So this definitely got the close below, and then you got your next open. Well, where is the 8 EMA? Well, this actually is not the 8 EMA. This is the 20 EMA on the for the moving average here. So this is again, you wanted to kind of wait for that price action. This is probably why you saw this spike back up. It definitely would have stressed you out a little bit, right? I mean, if you got back in, you say, hey, I'm going to just put my, if it crosses back above, I'm going to get in. Here is your 10 o'clock candle right here that I marked. Now, I think the high is somewhere right up in here. This is why you don't want to mark it tight, because see how this candle wicked back up? It almost would have hit you. Let's go ahead out. Let's go back out to the 15, and I'm going to mark to get this more accurate for you, so we make sure we're fair. This candle right here had a high of $83.06. So I probably pretty much I'm going to be up a little bit higher because I want to be a little higher than the actual wick. So something right around in here definitely would have been above our high here on the highest wick, and we would have put that trade on, and then we would want it to go down in here and take price. So price usually is going to wick hard through price, through the targets like you see here, or it's going to fall just short. So this definitely would have been a decent trade for you today. The system did give this trade and said, hey, you could trade this. So this was played out. It was success. And like I said, we're in, let's go back down to the 15-minute and see how this played out. When you got in, this obviously traded down. Everything would have been looking good. You're like, yeah, here's some money. And then all of a sudden it came up and you're like, oh, what did I do? Why did I follow this? Again, it started to break back up, and then you can see went ahead and played out. Obviously, BTC played out as well, and this started to run down. Obviously, if you had put your stop right here, you would have missed this. It would have just missed you by a little bit. You definitely would have wanted to get out when it crossed back above here. So that would have been definitely your exit, which is pretty close right now, right at your target 1. Most of the time, once it starts to break down, you are going to want to move your stop down. The other thing is you look at is the 20 exponential moving average on the 5-minute. You can see how it did not cross, but it crossed right here. Again, that's just another reason why you're getting in. It's another good reason to be getting out. So you can see the system at play here, and that's exactly how you want to see it. And this was a potential trade for the day that was giving you the green light, and how you would have entered it would have been basically right here. That's why you would have put your stop up here. You could easily also said, hey, no, I'm just always going to put my stop always above the 30-minute high. Again, that would have been healthy as well. Nothing wrong with any of that for you. So this trade would have been basically a 1.4 or a 2. If you happen to get the very bottom around 2.5, that's tough. If you decided, hey, I'm going to take the target 1, but I'm going to let it wick past it a little bit, just split it half and half or whatever, it's kind of up to you, right? I would not have blamed you if you said, hey, I'm going to take the pull, which that's typically what it'll go to. You can see it pretty much did, but not quite, and then bounced and then rode back up on us. So these are the trade that would have been built. The reason why I'm pointing this out and making it a big deal is because this trade would have been built by 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. So that's way back here. Or actually way back here is where it would have built it. So this is the right here. Obviously, you're going to want to wait till the New York session open, which is 9:30 to 9:45. Typically, you see energy. So I would have been looking at trading anytime after this candle right here. So you're already had all this set up and ready to go, and you would have got in on this trade around 10 or 10:30. So for 2 hours, you already had a plan in mind, what you were doing. You were patient, waiting for the setup. Here it was, and it played out for you. So that is the full recap for you. I know it was a little bit longer, but hopefully I gave you quite a bit of information and show you how to take entries, how to use the system, why the lines are there, why we always talk about them, looking at the gaps, looking at high probability, and yeah. So I will leave you guys to it. We'll see you in the next recap. All right, guys, take care.